Hey there guys, Pwnobi here bringing you the Pokemon Narrated Wi-Fi battle. It's going to be an NU tier battle versus somebody by the name of RedPoliwrath. Link below. Sorry I haven't brought you a video in a few days. I've been a bit under the weather. Plus it was my spring break last week, so I was having some fun. And this week I have classes, so I've been scrambling, making sure I get all my stuff done. I do tend to procrastinate. So yeah, like I said, it's going to be an NU tier battle. You can clearly see this is a new team that I've been testing. I've been testing a lot of new teams actually. If you guys want to see UU tier battles, I'll be posting a few of those soon with a new team I've been having some battles with. So anywho, I'm going to lead with my Jumpluff. He's going to lead with his Licky Licky. Licky Licky's a very versatile Pokemon. Not sure what he wants to do, so I'm just going to go for a sub on the first turn, and he goes for a Fire Punch. So I can clearly see that he is at least somewhat offensive, carrying a non-stab offensive move. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch out, fearing the Lumberry or fearing the Sleep Powder Miss and getting KO'd by a Fire Punch. So I'm going to go into my Koopa Troop, my Sand Slash. I see I get lefties first, which means I obviously will be able to outspeed him. Well, actually, he didn't get lefties, so that's a lie. Whatever, the point is Sand Slash has 65 base speed, Licky Licky has 50, so I can probably outspeed. I'm just going to set up my rocks while he hits me with a Power Whip. Power Whip's not going to do too much, but I don't really feel the need to stay in, so I'm just going to switch out to my Kansas, hoping that he will indeed switch out, which is what he does. Or if he went for the Power Whip, I 4 times resist it. So either way, it's going to work out well for me, and he goes into a Gorbis. So seeing this Gorbis is actually going to influence a lot of my plays later on, so we will see how that plays out. I am just going to go for the Sleep Powder, confident that that Gorbis will not outspeed me, obviously, because Jumpluff is very fast, and if I had got a Sleep Powder Miss and he got an Ice Beam off, that would have sucked. But he goes back into this thing. He did have the Lumberry, and I'm fearing the Sleep Powder Miss, so I'm going to go into my Gumafusa, knowing that I'm immune to his stab move, and knowing that I do have defensive EVs, so I will just be able to go for a substitute on the switch, knowing that I'm not going to take 25% from his move, which is great for me. And now I can just go ahead and set up a stockpile. The reason I set up a stockpile here is because I know that Nidoqueen doesn't have a super effective stab move on me. It might have the Ice Beam, but that's all it's going to have. So he sets up Toxic Spikes, and I'm thinking he's going to set up a second layer of Toxic Spikes, so I'm going to go into my Justin Beeve, my freaking dude. This is not exactly the same one that I've used before, same Babero, it's a little bit different, but similar. So yeah, the reason I baton passed on that turn is because I didn't want him to break my sub on the switch, and I thought he would set up a second layer of Toxic Spikes, although he did opt to go for the Stealth Rocks. So that's, good for me. It means that my Pokemon are going to just be poisoned, not deadly poisoned or badly poisoned or whatever. So I am just going to go for some curses here while he keeps earthquaking me. I was a little surprised that he didn't switch out into his Gorbis. That's the reason that I'm not just killing him off of the waterfall, is because I keep predicting the switch to Gorbis. So, but either way, it doesn't really matter because I am just able to set up on this thing because he doesn't pack a special move apparently, and even if he did, I do have special investment. And he goes for Crunch, I guess hoping for the defense drop, but I thought that was really weird. He also had Life Orb on a Nidoqueen that carried both Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rocks, which I thought was really weird. So, interesting team composition by the opponent. And the fact that he let me kill that off tells me he has something that he's confident can revenge kill me. So I'm just going to go for the quick attack on this Victory Bell, thinking that it is either special or whatever. But after he goes for the Sleep Powder, I'm thinking he's probably a Sleep Powder like Sword Dancing set. So I'm going to switch out to my Not Cartel, my Rapidash, because I thought he would go for the Swords Dance, and I was confident that I could live a +2 Sucker Punch if he carried the Sucker Punch, which most Sword Dancers do, and then I could kill him off with a Fire move. Unfortunately for me, he is going to go for a Leaf Blade. Well, it's not really that big of a deal. It's actually probably fortunate, in fact, so I take that back. But I am just going to Morning Sun here, predicting the switch to Gorbis, again, knowing that Gorbis has high defense and figuring that he would predict a Flare Blitz. But he decides to stay in and go for a Return, which wouldn't have done, Jack Diddley Balls, but he does manage to get a critical hit. So now I'm pretty sure he wants to just stay in and fodder out, since that's what he did with his Nidoqueen. That seems to be his playstyle. Maybe he has something else to revenge kill me, so I'm just going to kill him off. And yeah, I don't want to risk more crits and all that kind of stuff. So he's just going to go ahead and bring in his Magmortar now. And I know I can outspeed, so I'm just going to go for the Toxic. Reason I want to go for the Toxic is because, one, if he's a Belly Drummer, it'll, stop him from being able to use the set. Two, if he's choiced in some way, or even if he's not choice. The point is, I have a lot of Pokemon with Substitute, as you've seen on this team, so it is going to be able to let me sub down to Toxic Stall. So I bring in my Justin Beeve here, thinking I can take one hit, and so I can scout what kind of Magmortar this is. He does reveal himself to be what I assume is Expert Belt, and the reason I'm able to take that Thunderbolt is because I do have a very large special defensive investment, because I'm a curse set, and I am able to get the third turn, wake up, and just, actually was a second turn wake up, and just hit him with a quick attack, which is going to be good for me. So the reason I foddered him out there is because I don't have a Heal Beller on this team actually, and it is going to allow me to get some Toxic racked up on him, which is going to be very important, as we can see, because my plan is to now stall him out with my Kansas. Cookies to you if you get any of my name references. Feel free to take a guess at this Jumpluff or my frickin' Rapidash or anyone else really. So yeah, I am just gonna go for the Sleep Powder on this Regice, and he is going to be able to finish me off with an Ice Beam due to the Sleep Powder miss. So he has gotten a critical hit and I got a Sleep Powder miss. So I'm feeling a little hacks over, but at this stage I'm just going to bring my Gumafusen, go for the stockpile, thinking that I can take one from a defensive Registeel, but he is able to kill me off, which is starting to make me think that he is perhaps offensive, especially because I'm not seeing leftovers. So probably shouldn't have done that in the first place, but whatever. So I bring in my Ray-P, or my Rape, to go for the substitute, knowing that I resist the Ice Beam, but he is just going to explode, which works out perfectly for me, and I'm going to get my lefties, and he's going to bring in his Lickitung. I know it carries the Fire Punch, as we witnessed earlier, so I really can't stay in. Going to have to go back into my Koopa Troop, knowing that I can take the Rocks damage, the Toxic Poison, the Fire Punch all this turn, and then next turn I will be able to outspeed, as we saw before, and it'll allow me to hit him with an Earthquake, which I'm hoping will bring him low enough for my Magneton to be able to finish him off with a Thunderbolt, because that is pretty much my only option at this stage. And I also know that his last Pokemon is Gorbis, which can't take a Thunderbolt from a Magneton. So that's my game plan to try to seal the victory here. Luckily for me, I am going to be able to, like I said, take those moves, fire off an Earthquake. He's going to finish me off with the Power Whip. Luckily for him, he is going to hit the Power Whip, because it doesn't have perfect accuracy. I think it's like 85. And I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt, but it doesn't finish him off. It is going to get Para Hacks, but the full Para isn't going to come into play. And thankfully for me, I am going to be able to take a Fire Punch, which was really awesome. And he is going to get the Burn Hacks, which, if he had knocked me a little bit lower, I'm not sure if that was max or min damage. If he had got like max damage with a burn, maybe that would have came into play. Not exactly sure, but I'm just going to finish him off with a Charge Beam to get that +1, and finish his Gorbis off with a T-Bolt. So wow, that was a pretty close match if I do say so myself. If you want to check out the opponent's channel, link will be in the description. Thanks guys for checking out the video. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I certainly did. And yeah, leave a comment if you want. Peace out.